Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike, and this is Game Night with Mike, and welcome back finally to TUG. Today is August 30th, 2013, and yesterday, on the 29th, a new patch was released that adds a ton of new stuff to the game. So we're going to go ahead and look at that. This is early alpha version 0.3.1476, and I still am running the 64-bit version. You can see here we load up. Let's go ahead and set the time to 0600 so you guys can see this really cool sunrise. It's not a sunset, it's a sunrise. Check that out. So the first thing you may notice is that I'm walking around and there's not a horrendous amount of lag. That has been awesomely fixed, awesomely improved. There's still a slight amount, but not all that much, which I'm really happy about. Apparently we also have a new biome, which I have yet to go find. It is a mesa biome. It generates past the current desert biome according to the changelog. The changelog is quite large, though. I'm going to try to go through all of it. So for the items, new flower objects have been added. We have daisies and daffodils now. We have a new tall grass object. Let me go ahead and just scroll through this while I read. We have updated terrain textures. We have a new mesa biome. We have cactuses in the mesa biome. We have wood posts for creating fences. We have improvements to the torch FX. So let's go ahead and look at that. Oh, that does look a lot better. Look at that. We don't have the hundreds of trailing particles like we did before. Torches are also looking a lot nicer than they did in the last version. Check that out. That's starting to look really fancy. Really nice looking. We also have environmental destruction effects, so I'm guessing that's for when we destroy stuff in the world. Let's see here. No, I want to, let's destroy it. It does look like the destruction effects have been lessened some. I remember on the last one, whenever you destroyed like grass and dirt, a huge plume of grass and dirt would go up that would last a really long time. This is definitely a huge improvement over that, so thank you guys for fixing that. That is awesome. Should also help with the layout. We have shadow filtering, no more blocky edges on shadows. You can see that right here, nice and smooth. Particle lighting. Particles are now fogged. They adjusted and updated the inventory icons. Yes, they most certainly did. Shift plus rolling the... Okay, so shift plus the keys up and down will change my inventory hotbar now, but shift plus scroll bar would be nice if it did that as well. I'm not sure if that's going to interfere with another control or not. And we have anything placed on the hotbar is now saved, so if you put stuff down here in your hotbar, apparently it's going to get saved now whenever you exit the game and come back in. Not sure what's up with that, those black particles there. That's kind of odd looking. These look more like flashlights now, though, than torches. Let's take a look there. Yeah. Something about the rock itself, about me selecting it makes the lighting do that. That's okay. And new object tools have been added to the menu. So that's what you see above the hotbar. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to go through all those with you guys. So number 1 is just when you want to place stuff. When you're placing terrain, that's the one that's selected by default. In this mode, you can place remove terrain blocks as usual. It will not affect game objects. You can only select this mode if you have a terrain block selected to use. Okay. Number 2 is the selection tool. Let's go ahead and switch number 2. So you see that I have a branch that I'm holding now. I think I do anyway. Let's see here. So, oh, no. So, okay, so the selection tool. So the selection tool, basically, here's how it works. Is you can select that whenever you're in an empty spot or when you are in a slot that has an object in it. What number 2 does is it'll basically clone the object in front of you. So I pointed an object, and I click on it, and boom. I now have that object in my hotbar. And you check that out. That's pretty sweet. All right, so that's an eyedropper tool, basically, like you'd see in Photoshop or what have you. You can imagine this tool is an eyedropper that picks whatever you select. If it's an object, it picks it up, and it's switched over to the move tool, which is number 3. So number 3 moves stuff around, moves objects around, not terrain. So you can see I'm holding this, and I'm rotating it around, and you'll also notice that it's moving the object position, so I can change position on stuff a little bit easier. All right, so we have that. The game enters this mode by default when you select an empty hotbar slot. Well, that is That is true. That is exactly true. Let's see here. Will it change? Nope, it does enter that mode by default when you enter an empty hotbar slot. So the next one is the rotate tool. That is number 4. So what that does is when you have an object selected, rotating the mouse, actually moving the mouse around will rotate it around like so. It rotates around the X and Z axes. Now if you hold the right mouse button, it will rotate around the Y axis. So it'll rotate, holding down the right mouse button, when the rotate tool is selected, number 4, we'll rotate it like this. If you just let go, it'll rotate it like this. So you can turn it around, you can rock it around like that. So that's pretty cool. And then if you just click, boom, it'll place it right there. So now we have a hovering, off-kilter altar that's going to drain the blood all off into the ground right there. Probably not what we want to do. Excuse me. The next object is the scale object. If the object is scalable, moving the mouse forward and back scales the object up and down. So let's see here if we can do that. It's number 5. Number 5. Will this scale? No, that will not scale. Number 1, I suspect, will scale. Let's go ahead and select number 5. That will not scale either. So that only works on objects. Now, what objects can we scale up? I'm guessing maybe we can scale a boulder or a stone? I'm not sure what objects you can scale up. Let's try that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and say, can we do 5 on that? No. Let's see, 5 on that. Nope. Let's do 5 on that. Nope, moving the mouse forward and back is not working on that. Let's see here, number 6 and number 5. Oh, okay, here we go. So here we have a large boulder, and you can see that I can move it up and down. I can scale it up and down with number 5, then I can switch back to 3, move around, place it, and boom, I've got a gigantic boulder, and I'll just put a normal one next to it for a size comparison. So that's how you scale objects. Number 6 is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. It's the delete button, just boop, delete, boop, delete. It does not pick up the objects whenever you click on them. If you just click on an object like this, you'll actually pick it up and move it around. If you want to just delete it without picking it up, just hit number 6 and click on the object. Okay, so some more controls to note. I'm just reading through I'm going through the changelog here. We're almost done. Holding control while using the move tool. So let's go ahead and select an object, and we'll use the move tool as number 3. Holding control allows you to place objects through each other or through terrain as well. So let's go ahead and hold control, and you can see now that I'm clipping this through terrain and through here. So I can then click, and boom, now we've got a boulder sticking out of that rock. That's actually a really cool feature. I really like that feature. That's awesome. Oh, check it out. The grass moves whenever I move through it. Wonder if the fish move out of the way. I think I've made that joke before. Number keys 1 through 6 or control scroll wheel will cycle through the tools on the toolbar. So if you want to use your scroll bar instead of using the number keys, control plus the scroll wheel will move through the tools, and just the scroll wheel on its own will move through your items in the hotbar. You'll also notice that as I'm scrolling through them, it's only selecting the ones that will actually work with whatever I've got. So I can only use delete and selection tools on an empty toolbar, on an empty hotbar. If I go into large boulder and scroll through it, then I can do everything except number 1, which is a terrain only selection. And for the terrain, let's see, I can do a selection, terrain, placing, and delete as well. So I can, let's see, what can I do here? I can't delete that. I wonder what I have to do for delete. Let's see here. Delete doesn't appear to work with terrain selected. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, what does number 2 do against selection as an eyedropper? Oh yeah, here we go. Number 2, I want an eyedropper. There we go. And we can build stuff up like that. It's getting dark again, isn't it? Did a whole day pass already? My goodness, the days pass quickly in this game. Backspace key while using the move, rotate, or scale objects tool will reset the object to its default rotation and size and all that good stuff. So let me go ahead and set the time. 0900 for some better lighting out here. So let me go ahead and scale this thing up. So I'll use 5. I will scale it up, and then what I'll do is I'll just hit backspace. And it appears that backspace actually doesn't reset the size of it, but it does reset the orientation of it. So there you go. So if we were to move it like that and then hit backspace, there we go. It'll actually reset it back. You can place objects in the air. So if we go to, I did this earlier, I actually made some stairs out of small branches. So if I do this, and this, and this, and this, I can place the branches in the air, and now I'm just walking up them. So you can do that. There are some known issues. If you bring a large object close to you, using the move tool, it can cause some physics bugs, like flinging your player high into the air. I haven't had that happen yet, but I haven't played around with this too much. Previous saves are invalid. Don't get attached to what you're building, like I said, although personally I feel like I might want to start building some cool stuff now that all this lag has been fixed. I mean, look at this. I'm running around in here and there's no lag. I mean, there's like barely perceptible small little delays once in a while that I'm seeing, but for the most part the lag is gone, which is awesome. And collisions on some objects when rotated into unusual positions can cause weird player issues. No idea what that means, but I'm guessing that it probably isn't good. Let's see here. I could probably build some stairs like this, huh? Look at that. Sticks mounted into this big block here, although I can just go right up the side because of how it is currently. So that is a look at the latest alpha. Excuse me again. The latest alpha of TUG. It's looking very nice, very beautiful. The lag issue is really the one thing that was keeping me from playing it more often than I was, because it just kind of sucked to try to build stuff and not be able to do anything with the lag. So I may very well be doing more TUG videos. If you guys have specific stuff you want to see, that would be really helpful in terms of figuring out what I want to, or what I should be looking at and doing in TUG, because the game isn't fully featured yet. This is all that you've got. You've just got some basic stuff. So this is more, as someone said in a comment, more like a tech demo than anything else at the moment. But it's looking really fantastic, and I'm really excited to see where we're going to go from here. So I'll be back again with more TUG. I'll be back with more TUG very soon. We'll take a look at some more features in the next update they put out. And I might do another video on this one to show you guys some of the new items and other cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Mike. This has been Game Night with Mike, and I will catch you guys later.